Welcome back to the Young Lovers channel. Today, we're going to discuss the most touching moment you may have never seen before. Imagine a scene where two weary souls, who have just gone through difficult times, finally return to the place they call home. Not a luxurious mansion with spotlights or crowds of fans, but a simple place behind an old wooden door filled with warmth and unconditional love. There, a mother waits anxiously, and when she finally sees her son return, her tears flow uncontrollably. This is not just a story about a celebrity returning home from the hospital. It is a story about a mother's love, a love so deep, so sincere, that she not only embraced her own child but also the person who meant so much to her son. Wang Yibo, whom we often see as a strong and confident figure on stage, was at that moment just a tired young man, and in Xiao Zhan's mother's embrace, he found comfort he may never have expected to receive. We often see Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo as big stars who always shine, but behind that, they are also ordinary people who feel tired, sick, and long for the warmth of family. The moment when Xiao Zhan's mother cried uncontrollably while hugging both of them reminds us that behind fame, there is a heart that beats just like ours. There is worry, there is gratitude, and there is love that cannot be expressed in words. Fans around the world couldn't hold back their tears when they saw this scene. Many expressed how moved they were by the sincerity of a mother's love, how she didn't care about popularity or status, but only about the happiness and safety of her children, including Wang Yibo, who has become like family to them. There was something very special about this moment. Perhaps because we rarely see the human side of celebrities who often appear perfect on screen. But here, there was nothing perfect, only tears, hugs, and relief that they could finally be together again. When Xiao Zhan's mother hugged Wang Yibo, it felt like witnessing a bond that transcended a professional relationship. It was an emotional connection, a silent acknowledgement that he was an important part of her son's life. And in that moment, we all realized that love knows no bounds. You don't have to be related by blood to be family. Many fans then shared their own stories about how this moment reminded them of their own mothers, of the hugs they had received after going through difficult times. Because in the end, a mother's love is a universal language that anyone, anywhere, can understand. So, how did netizens react after this moment went viral? Thousands of comments poured in, filled with support and emotion. Many said this was proof that behind Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo's success, there are people who love them sincerely, without expecting anything in return. Some also hoped that both of them would continue to be supported and given strength after going through difficult times. Moments like this also remind us that life is not just about achievements and fame. Sometimes, the most valuable things come from simple things, like a mother's embrace, tears of joy, or simply being able to return home safely. We may never know how difficult Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo's journey has been, but one thing is certain. When they return and are greeted with tears of joy, it serves as a reminder that they are not alone. There is always someone waiting, someone who cares, and someone who loves them unconditionally. And perhaps, that is the greatest lesson from this moment. That in a world that sometimes feels cold and full of pressure, the genuine love of family is what can heal wounds, strengthen the heart, and remind us that we always have a place to call home. So, how do you feel after seeing this moment? Are you also moved like us? Or perhaps this reminds you of someone who always waits at home with unconditional love. Share your stories in the comment section, because as we saw today, love and support are the most valuable things in life. When this video went viral, many people asked, what actually happened before this touching moment? It turns out that before returning home, Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo had to undergo extensive treatment at the hospital. Both were physically and mentally exhausted after working non-stop, but they always tried to smile in front of the camera. However, behind the scenes, there was a mother who knew how tired her sons were, and that's why her tears were so deep when she finally got to hug them. There was something interesting about Wang Yibo's reaction when he was hugged by Xiao Zhan's mother. Usually known as a quiet and stern person, in that moment, his expression softened. His eyes welled up with tears, and he allowed himself to lean into the hug for a moment. It was as if, for the first time in a long time, he felt safe. Many fans noticed how his fingers gripped Xiao Zhan's mother's arm tightly, as if afraid this moment would pass too quickly. What about Xiao Zhan? If you look closely, he stood motionless as he watched his mother cry. But it was precisely from his tension that we could sense the depth of the emotions he was holding back. He knew how worried his mother was, and perhaps at that moment he realized that no matter how successful he was out there, what mattered most was being able to return home and bring peace to the people who loved him. Another fact that made this moment even more profound was the closeness between Xiao Zhan's mother and Wang Yibo. It turns out this isn't the first time she's treated Yibo like her own child. Some close sources revealed that for a long time, Xiao Zhan's mother has often sent food and encouraging messages to Yibo, especially when she knew how busy their schedules were. This relationship wasn't built overnight. It's the result of sincere care given without many words. Netizens' reactions were mixed. Some cried because they felt the emotional depth of the moment, while others were inspired to reach out to their parents more often. Many also shared photos of hugs with their mothers, accompanied by stories about how a mother is always a place to return to, no matter how grown-up or successful they are. The most beautiful part of all this is the underlying message. In a world filled with busyness, fame, and achievements, moments like this remind us that what is most precious is the presence and love of those closest to us. No matter how famous Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo may be in the eyes of Xiao Zhan's mother, they are still children who need to be hugged and told, "You've done well." So, what lesson can we take away today? Perhaps it's time to pause from all the hustle and bustle and remember the people who have always waited patiently. Whoever they are, parents, siblings, friends, they are the reason we can stay strong. Like Xiao Zhan's mother, they may not always express it with words, but their hugs and tears are the truest proof of love. Well, young lovers, that's today's story. May we all learn to appreciate these simple yet meaningful moments. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comment section, and see you in the next video. Stay strong, stay full of love, and remember, there's always a home waiting.